Okay, so James has some good questions here in the live stream discussion portion of the Orchard Discord. And it is true that I have said in the past that you should. Okay, let's start with the first one. Use since for a substitute for as. Can you show a good example for where to start a sentence with since so the sentence works? Okay, I think that Emily has provided a really good example. Since I did not wake up on time, comma, I am now late for work. There are two major parts of a sentence. You have your subject and your predicate. There's the thing that your sentence is talking about, and then there's all the extra stuff. So you can have you have an independent clause and a dependent clause. So a full sentence, I am now late for work. That is a full sentence. That is everything. And I am now late for work. And then if you want to add additional information, because I did not wake up on time. Since I did not wake up on time. And to start the word with since, you would just need to switch the locations and put the dependent clause first and the independent clause afterwards. That's the fun thing about English, is that you can switch the location of the clauses. What do you want to put the emphasis on? In the sentence example that Emily has here, since I did not wake up on time, I am now late for work. Okay, the emphasis and the first idea presented in here is I did not wake up on time. I am now late for work is second, so there's less emphasis on that concept. You could switch it around and you can say, I am now late for work since I did not wake up on time. What is the most impactful thing that you need to explain in the sentence that you're conveying? In this example, Emily is showing us that not waking up on time is the bigger deal. And then as a result, I am now late for work. It just depends. So I think that was a great example, and thank you so much for providing it. Since wood is more burnable, they use cardboard. Yes, that is a good sentence that you could use. And it's just, if you want the emphasis on wood, if you want the emphasis on the wood and not the cardboard, you would talk about the wood first. Burnable or flammable? That would be that's a choice. Okay. Okay. Me and others have issues with the one idea per sentence rule. You said previously that unless there's a good reason, it should be one idea per sentence. Please, can you show us a good example where the good reason applies and where it doesn't? Okay. The reason why I suggest the one idea per sentence rule is, as Emily is correctly saying again, it's not a strict rule. It just makes it easier to understand. If a sentence, Emily, hey, I should have you on explaining this too. This is wonderful stuff. It is just the simplify things. When we talk in incomplete sentences, we talk in short sentences. So it is important that we reflect that in our fiction, where there are conversations, and we don't want to have people struggle to consume our fiction. If thinking about it, everyone has the same problem with long sentences. It's just something that has to be learned. Yes, very true. And in I would be much more forgiving of long sentences in nonfiction and technical writing, because sometimes you have a complex idea that needs to be expressed in a single sentence. And if you can do the grammatical hoops, great. But the shorter the sentence, the easier it is to understand and the easier it is to convey the information. Yes, reading out loud can also help. You need to decide what the words you're using is for. Are the words you using for communication or to show off? Okay? If you are using big, long, loquacious words so that you can have a super long, complicated sentence to show off that you know how to grammatically structure something, okay, not my goal. I wouldn't recommend that. Use short words. Use short sentences so that you can communicate effectively and quickly. But I think on average, my sentences are indeed longer in technical writing. Yeah. But in my personal experience with my technical writing, it's not longer because it is more grammatically complex. It's longer because the nouns or the subject of the material takes 5 words to describe it. I use unending sentences to communicate panic. Very good. You can change the structure of your grammar to convey emotion. If a person is babbling in panic or really stressed and is becoming hysterical, definitely use run-on sentences. Use that kind of stuff because you are specifically using it to portray an emotion. And in fiction, it's more important to convey emotion and to communicate effectively than to be grammatically correct. On Thursday evenings, I'm in a small writing group, and one of the critiques that a person there said is, Greg, I like what your character is saying, but you need to remember that your character is an uneducated quasi-slave in a medieval setting. His words are too big. Because he's thinking too many grand thoughts. Do you really think that this person, a slave from the Middle Ages who is serving as a houseboy, does he really know these big long words? And I'm going, you're right. I was using my authorial voice instead of the voice of the actual character. So, is your character one who uses long words and pontificates and goes on and on and on? Yeah, then do that for that character and that character's voice. But in your narrative, again, I propose short sentences so that your reader can consume the information quickly and not stumble over it. That's just me. Have I beat the dead horse? Hopefully I got those ideas across, because I think it's a very important thing. The horse is now glue. Excellent. Hey, Songbird, welcome. All right, thank you so much for the sprint takeover. We'll be over in about 30 seconds.